Hey there, welcome back to NC Grass Plugs. Today we are just giving you a week 10 update on the El Toro Zoysia plug grow in here on my front yard. So it's been about 10 weeks. It has been very hot and dry. It's been so dry that I could not keep up with watering just off of running one cycle a day. So I had to start supplementing on my county water hookup, which has been a big no-no for me. I normally don't like to spend money on county water, but it has been so bad that I had to do it. And I'm thankful because the yard's looking great. I'm able to kind of keep up with things. My wife might not be so happy with me right now, but hey, it is what it is. So here we are. Let's go take a look and talk about some of the things that I like and don't like this week. So what I do like is that the majority of this yard is looking really good. As you can see, shortly after lunchtime, my front yard starts to become shaded from the house over, and it mainly comes from a giant oak tree that's at my back right now. So with shade comes a little bit less growth, and I think we're looking pretty good right here for the time being. This big patch here and here is the existing Meyer Zoysia, so it's just filling in. There are El Toro plugs all in it, but they look close enough together that I'm not worried about seeing a visual difference there. So one of my problematic areas is this area here and going around the tree to what I call the dry spot over there. And I think a lot of this is because some of these plugs are not 12 inches apart. But if you can see all the stolons starting to run on these things, I have high hopes. It may not run all this year like I was hoping, but I haven't given up hope for a lot more coverage than what we have. These plugs are maturing really well. They look really good. Here's the dry area. I try to give it extra water, but it just continues to just dry out. I mean, 2 days ago I soaked it back-to-back days, and you can see here that it's already starting to roll up, and you can see a big dry spot here. Some of the things that I really like about the plug grow in is this stretch right here all the way to the driveway. Now this is growing in really good, and it's because the this part of the yard here stays much sunnier than this over here. But this is looking really good. And I think what we're going to end up doing is we're going to drop some more plugs right here and just kind of fill the gaps. I think I may have killed some of the plugs early on when I was spraying Roundup on the Bermuda patches. And you can still see some of the Bermuda carcass in there. If you get down on it, you can still see what little bit is left. So probably tomorrow I'll drop a few plugs in here just to start filling some gaps. I did that same thing. I probably put about 20 plugs or so in here 2 or 3 weeks ago, just in the places that I saw really big gaps. Like there's 3, 1, 2, 3, and there's a few more in here, and they're growing really well as well. So this is our week 10 update. As we're starting to near the end of August, and we are at the end of August, September 1st is that cutoff date that people talk about when you're not supposed to apply any more fertilizer. As long as the forecast looks like it's going to stay hot and we're not going to get a cool streak where the temperatures are down in the 50s at night, it's probably okay for another week or so to apply a little bit of nitrogen but I would stay away from the extended release or slow release nitrogen at this time. We are also starting to get into the time of year where we start looking at our 10-day soil temperatures or 5-day soil temperatures to get an average of our soil temperature. And once we start hitting about 70 to 75 degrees, it's time to apply a pre-emergent. I can understand if you do not want to apply a pre-emergent on a plug grow in. There are some pre's that are safe and are not so-called root pruning herbicides. Prodiamine is one that is a root pruner, and that's what I normally use, and it does a pretty decent job. It does a really good job on crabgrass in the spring. This year, I haven't decided yet if I'm going to apply pre-emergent or not. We'll just have to wait and see on that. But one thing you can do is continue on with your RGS or Cytogrow. Apply the full rate, label rate monthly, or you can half that and apply it every 2 weeks. And that's kind of what I do. And then the very last application of the season before it goes dormant, we can apply one full rate again and put it to sleep pretty well. It's also just about time to start considering potassium fertilizer applications for the fall. It's a stress reliever. It's going to help do some things in the lawn to get it ready for dormancy without pushing growth to it. But right now, I think I'm looking pretty good. Just these big bare areas behind me are really what kind of stand out. But from the road, as you're driving by, it looks like the lawn is 90% full. It looks really good from the road. Still battling dry, hot conditions. This past week, let's see, on Thursday, I did put some 15015 out here on the lawn just to keep pushing a little bit of growth on it. And we will report back in a couple of weeks and see how we're looking. Stay tuned for some more videos. Hopefully we'll get into a pre-emergent and how to mix that and how to apply that. So thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions, please drop them down into the comments below and I'll get to them as soon as I can.